Hey everyone, and welcome back. So I wanted to do a quick news video today, and actually I've gotten behind in a couple of announcements. One of these especially was actually announced like a while ago, and I thought I'd included another video and I hadn't. I think it was actually during the time when I was, fighting off the coof and everything, so it's just like, okay, it's sort of a reason why I didn't cover it at the time, but still, I definitely want to get to it today, even though probably most of you already know about it, but I just want to kind of at least mention it real quick. As well as we got the Vinegar Syndrome announcements for this month, including one I am actually really happy that they got the rights to. But first, I actually want to get these two out of the way real quick. So first up, coming from Paramount, coming out on November 15th is a 4K release of Wayne's World, which I've been hoping this gets a 4K release. I absolutely love Wayne's World. I think, with some of you, it's like some of us sort of grew up with the film, and it just it's one of those films, I swear, I think a lot of us can just quote it verbatim. And of course, I know I can't hear Bohemian Rhapsody without, just thinking of the scene of them in the car. And if I'm in a car and it comes on the radio, there's a good chance I'll probably act out part of it based on the Wayne's World scene. Now, there aren't too many details as far as extras go just yet. I assume it's probably gonna have, I assume anyway, at least the extras that were on the Blu-ray from before. It's gonna be a Dolby Vision, and it's gonna have a new Dolby Atmos track. Now, this is Paramount, so most likely it's not going to have the original theatrical mix as an option, unfortunately. I really wish they would be adding that to a lot of their catalog titles. But I am happy Wayne's World is getting released, and hopefully Wayne's World 2 is coming out eventually as well. I kind of wish they were doing both of them at the same time, but, hopefully we get the second one soon as well, because I'm a big fan. First one to me is perfect, but I still absolutely love the second one. And this other one is an interesting thing for a couple reasons. So, coming November 22nd is the Disney film Wali getting a 4K release from the Criterion Collection. Now, there's a couple things here I just want to kind of dissect for a moment. So first off, obviously, it's it's a Pixar film, but it is a Disney film, and it's getting released by a third party, in this case obviously Criterion Collection, which now some of Disney's other films, like the Touchstone films, I think a couple of their Hollywood Pictures films, those have been licensed out and stuff, but the Disney stuff really dozens. And the other thing too is the fact that a this was sort of a separate announcement. Usually Criterion, they have a day and every month where they sort of make their announcement for a couple months out, and they just announce all the titles for that month all at once. This is getting its own separate announcement. Now, what does this mean going forward? Well, it's the possibility is there as far as because there's still a lot of films that really need proper releases, and they're films that I don't know, it's probably not the best example. I'm sort of thinking sort of outwardly, but there are, films where Disney may not be too quick to jump on. And I don't mean obvious choices like Songs of the South, Song of the South. I don't know if they'll be licensing that one out or not. Hopefully, because honestly, it's okay, fine, you can call the film whatever you want. I still think a film should get released, even if you want to put a bunch of warnings on it today, because I think, some people are going to get upset. It's I don't think it was a mean-spirited film, but, it's I can understand why some people may not take it the right way. But that doesn't mean it should be locked away in a vault. I'm just going to use it as an example. But then there are other films where it's especially... actually, even though some of them were licensed out, there's still a lot of films that from Touchstone and everything that have not gotten proper releases that should get good releases. So hopefully they start, they're much more open to licensing films out, and especially now that they own the 20th Century Fox library, if they're not going to release a lot of those titles, license them out. Get these films released, on disc. So I'll have more information on this. I just kind of wanted to include that real quick just because of what it could mean kind of going forward, or at least what I hope it means anyway. Before I get to the Vinegar Syndrome ones, though, I do want to say this is a title that I did not mention in another video. I thought maybe I had, but I didn't. This is coming from Severin, and it's a 4K release of The Changeling, which is a sort of ghost story film starring George C. Scott that I absolutely love. And I was very excited to see that it's getting a 4K release. It does look like it is porting over all the extras extras from their previous Blu-ray release from a couple years ago, and it even comes with the soundtrack CD as well. I think the main thing draw for this one is obviously having the film itself in 4K. Hopefully I know there were, there was one problem, I'm blanking because it's been a while. I know there was one glitch issue or something with the Blu-ray from a while ago so hopefully all that's been corrected for the 4K. I'm sure it has. Now, I don't think it necessarily has a new transfer. I think it's actually what it is because when they did the Blu-ray, it got a 4K transfer, or scan rather, at the time, and then they made an HD master from that. So what I'm guessing is here, they're going back to the original 4K scan and did a new, obviously, 4K version of it. So again, I'm super excited because I absolutely love the Changeling, so I'm happy that, I was happy when we got the Blu-ray, and it's like, well, maybe we'll be even happier actually now with the 4K. So actually I did double check, it actually is estimated to ship towards the end of October, but yeah, I'm definitely super, super excited for it. So definitely wanted to include that one because I think, it did actually get announced. I think like I missed that one. Now let's jump on over to the Vinegar Syndrome titles for November, heavens, for September. Jeez, I'm jumping ahead already. So first up, we have a new VSA title. For those of you who don't know, those are usually like films that were shot on film, but they were intended to go straight to video. Most of these, I think, back in the 90s mainly, and a lot of them are there's been a couple horror ones, I shouldn't actually say, because there's a lot of them have been action movies and stuff, but actually there have been a couple horror films as well. But this month's release is Red Sun Rising, starring Don the Dragon Wilson. It's a region-free Blu-ray, and it has, a new transfer from the original negative, and comes with a couple of interviews, including The Dragon Rises, a brand new interview with actor Don the Dragon Wilson; Red Sun Reflections, a brand new interview with first assistant director Erica Fox; Producer Fu, a brand new interview with producer Paul Maslach; Newbie's Way, a brand new interview with cinematographer John Newby; Master of the Flying Edits, a brand new interview with editor John Wiedner, including a lot of archival interviews as well from, I believe, previous releases, and has the original video trailer. And this came, when did this come out? 1993. Oh, my hair. I know you guys don't care. Thank you for not caring, by the way. So next up is now part of the regular line for the month. So first up is the film Buried Alive from 1989. This is Region A Blu-ray, not Region Free, so do be mindful of that, depending where you live. Has a new 2K restoration from the original 35mm interpositive. Ginger's Antics, an interview with actress Ginger Lynn Allen, who's very sweet. I actually met her a couple years ago. Well, I Want to Be an Actor, an interview with actor William Butler. And then next up is the film Mutant Hunt, which is also a Region A Blu-ray, because I'm starting to notice that. I think some of these may have to do with, maybe the MGM deals or something. These are MGM titles where Vinegar Syndrome is definitely starting to have a lot more Region A locked releases with their Blu-rays. But anyway, so this is from 1987. It's got a new 4K scan from the original 35mm camera negative, and has a commentary track with film historian Elizabeth Purcell, Mutant Maker, an interview with special makeup effects artist Ed French, If You Want Me to Box with a Kangaroo, an interview with actor Dr. J. Buzz von Amsteiner, Long Arm of the Hunt, an interview with actor Mark Legan. Next up is another one in the Hong Kong films. They're actually starting to release some Hong Kong films, which is really, really cool. I got especially last month, which I'll cover in my pickups video, which is cool because that opens up again some possibilities of films that I hope they can get the rights to, especially maybe some John Woo films that I really, really, really want like good releases of. But that's another thing. Anyway, so this film is The Iceman Comet from 1989. It is also going to be a Region A locked Blu-ray, so again, do keep that in mind. It looks like it actually has two cuts of the film, which I'll get to in just one moment. So, has a studio supplied master with additional color grading and restoration performed by Vinegar Syndrome. The 115-minute Hong Kong cut is presented with the following mono soundtrack options: a Cantonese original language with newly translated English subtitles, and two English sub-soundtracks as well, the original and a late-period redub. That's interesting. And it has an alternate 122-minute Mandarin export cut, which is presented its original mono soundtrack with newly translated English subtitles. There we go. As far as extras go, it has a commentary track with film historian and author Sam Dean, frame by frame, a brand new interview with cinematographer Poon Hang Sang, Warrior Prince, an interview with actor Yoon Biao, Nemesis, an interview with actor Yoon Wah, as well as a Hong Kong trailer, an English language trailer, an alternate English title sequence, and it comes with a booklet as well. So this is actually kind of exciting that, again, they're getting a hold of some of these Hong Kong films, because like some of those kind of worry me, because I know some of the Hong Kong films are kind of mixed depending on who owns them. Some of them are being preserved well and other ones are not. So I know there are films that, you know, it's not whatever I see get released. You know, Arrow obviously releases a bunch of them and stuff. Like, it always makes me happy to know, like, you know, at some level these films are being rescued and restored and everything. But again, hopefully I can get some John Woo films that desperately need it. And then finally, probably the biggest release from Vinegar Syndrome this month is a 4K release of the Amityville Horror, the original Amityville Horror, which is very exciting because for multiple reasons. One, obviously, that's a film that I think is in desperate need of a new transfer. I mean, it's, you know, because like the transfer, for example, that was on the Scream Factory release, because that was one of their early releases, you know, that used an older master for that release, because I think even at the time, that was before Scream Factory really started doing new transfers for their releases and stuff. So I think this is actually the first time the Amityville Horror has actually gotten a new transfer in like a really long, I don't even want to estimate how long it's been, but you know, but let's just say it could be like maybe a good 10 years or more. And the fact that it's a 4K release is even better. So let's get into some of the details. So obviously it's a 4K disc and it'll have an included Blu-ray. Now again, the included Blu-ray will be region A locked, but obviously the 4K disc is region free, luckily. It has a new 4K restoration from the original 35mm camera negative, presented for the first time on home video in its original unaltered theatrical surround mix with an optional stereo mix. That's interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to checking that out. The Amityville Diaries, a brand new making-of documentary featuring interviews with screenwriter Sander Stern, actor Mino Palouse, actor Don Stroud, actor Mark Vahanian, and actress Amy Wright. For God's Sake, Get Out, an archival making-of documentary featuring interviews with actor James Brolin and actress Margot Kidder. Brolin Thunder, an interview with James Brolin from 2017. Child's Play, an interview with actor Mino Palouse from 2017. Amityville Scribe, an interview with screenwriter Sanders Stern from 2017. The Devil in the Music, an interview with composer Lalo Schifrin from 2017. Haunted Melodies, a journey inside the music that makes horror come alive, an interview with composer Lalo Schifrin from 2013. So as a commentary track by Dr. Hans Holzer, PhD in parapsychology. So as a video introduction by Dr. Hans Holzer, the original theatrical trailer, a still gallery, TV spot, and radio spots. So we get a nice mix here of like pre-existing extras as well as new extras, and obviously the big draw, you know, the new transfer in 4K. So very, very exciting news for this month. You know, it's it could even be shipping out actually for another week, at least for me anyway. You know, the subscriber sub usually ships kind of mid-month, you know, and then I usually get it like towards usually about maybe the third week. And of course, next month, you know, should be Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, the 4K release of that. And while I don't think it's happening, I do need to mention it just because some of the rumors are circulating that there could be a 4K release of Creepshow coming at some point to celebrate its 40th anniversary. As much as I really want that to be true, you guys have no idea. Well, actually, I think you guys do. I really don't think that's going to happen. And I do think, eventually, I do think it will get a 4K release because, again, they did create a 4K master when they did the Blu-ray. So, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to make light of the process. Obviously, they would still have to go back and do some work for an actual 4K release. But, you know, the basis of, you know, the basic work of a 4K release is already there. So I don't know. I mean, maybe next year, that would be nice. I think at this point, probably would have heard something a little bit more substantial. But, you know, who knows? Fingers crossed it could still happen. I don't think it will. But, you know, I just want to mention it just in case. And honestly, I would rather be completely wrong and just all of a sudden, you know, maybe in like a couple weeks come back and be like, guess what just got announced? You know, it's like a... But I at least did want to mention it. So this news update, I actually, you know, I know I got behind in a couple things. You know, schedules change and stuff, you know, God. I'm still kind of fighting my schedule, but I am clearing some time this week to catch up on some videos I've been meaning to make, including just a general update video. Now that one could be a little long. Let me know if you guys are okay with that. No, what do I mean long? I mean, obviously it's like, you know, I try and keep my videos as much to under 10 minutes as possible, but that one could be closer to 15 minutes or so. Let me know if you're okay with that, because there are a couple things I do want to cover in that video. And as always, let me know your thoughts on these announcements. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.